Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to brand new video. Mikel Arteta is afraid of Harry Kane. In his press conference, he has said, "We pray and we would love Harry Kane not to show up like he always does against Arsenal." In this video, we're going to be diving into word per word of Mikel Arteta's press conference against Bayern Munich. The manager is absolutely confident that Arsenal could get a result, and so are the fans. So literally, it means the Bayern have got to dig deeper if they're going to get a result at the Emirates Stadium. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. Let's dive into what Mikel Arteta said about Arsenal as we take on Bayern Munich this evening. First and foremost, on the players of releasing the big games, it says we are really enjoying the moment. This is where we want to be. We are in really a good position in the Premier League, and we are really in a good position in the UEFA Champions League as well. We have a big task ahead of us against one of the most successful teams in Europe. That's the hurdle we have to overcome right now, and we are looking forward to it. Okay, Mikel Arteta on the Bayern Munich threat. It says they're a tough team. I'm a big fan and a big admirer of Thomas Tuchel. His teams, the way they settle and play, the way they transmit, I learn a lot about him, and I'm looking at Bayern when they are analyzing this game. You see why they are a top team. We are prepared very well, and we want to take our game where we want, and if we do that, we have a chance to win. So first and foremost there, Mikel Arteta saying that we are in a position where we want to be, and also Bayern are a top team. He's analyzing their performances, and you can see that they're a top team. Now, I will agree with Mikel first and foremost. I think our league position gives us a much better feel as we go into this game. It doesn't give us an advantage. I'm not really with the people who say Arsenal being on top of the league gives you an advantage in this game. It really doesn't. There's a lot of pressure on this Bayern game, and there's a lot of pressure on the Aston Villa game that is coming up. If Arsenal even don't win by a 2-goal margin, we could actually lose our goal difference, to Liverpool or to Manchester City. But I think it gives us a much better feel that we are table leaders, and we have gone 10 games unbeaten in the last in the last 10 games in the Premier League. We have conceded 5 goals whole year. That is in the Champions League and the Premier League. That gives us a much better feel. I think with Bayern, they're still a good side, and I will agree with Mikel Arteta. They have a top manager who has won the Champions League. He's won the competition before. Against Pep Guardiola, you've got to give them some respect. You've got to give them, pedigree, and of course the pedigree they have as well, and the experience they have as well. Their quality side, they're really a good side. Mikel Arteta talking about, they're talking about Bayern and their threat. On how we can stop Harry Kane, Mikel Arteta said it's not only him. I think the individuals that they have, all the individual qualities of all those players, and him in particular, and the ability that he has is incredible. The best thing to do is to do what we do collectively and try to promote certain things in that game. On if his record against us will be a factor, he says hopefully not. Yeah, definitely. I think Harry Kane for me is one of the players we've got to look out for. He is dangerous. He is deadly. He is lethal. And I think with Harry Kane, it's not even about Arsenal only, but it's about his intelligence and IQ in front of goal. So you look at the likes of Saliba and Gabriel. They've been dealing with defenders, Ivan Toney, Haaland, and all these Watkins, category. And I'm not trying to say that they're not quality players. They are quality players. But when we talk about quality, we talk about Karim Benzema, we talk about Ronaldo, we talk about Messi, we talk about Kylian Mbappe, we talk about Harry Kane. That is the class. I don't think in the Premier League right now we have a striker in the tier of Harry Kane, because Harry Kane is a bowler. He is intelligent as a footballer, as a striker as well, and his movement is top class. I think with Erling Haaland, you can easily stop him. I think with Harry Kane, you can't easily stop him, right? He will drop deep into the midfield, pick up the ball, help out with the likes of Jamal Musiala, and he will rotate his position with Thomas Muller, and Arsenal will have problems either picking out Harry Kane or picking up Thomas Muller. So let's see what happens and how Mikel Arteta deals with the threat of Harry Kane, because that is one card Bayern have up their sleeve. Right, Mikel Arteta on what makes Harry Kane a big threat. It says consistency. When you look at his numbers over the last 10 years, it's unbelievable what he's actually done. He can score in many different ways. He's got the service. He's got the players around him as well that provide opportunities. And this is what we have to try to avoid as much as possible. And I agree with Mikel there. Really, really do. I think for Harry Kane, don't let service get to him, right? Yes, he will drop deep and he will pick up the ball himself, but he's not a solo man. He really doesn't score a lot of solo goals like Jamal Musiala. Don't allow the service to get to him. Whatever you do, don't allow him to be found. Don't allow Kimmich, don't allow Sane, don't allow Leon Goretzka to find him. Don't allow it. It's as simple as that. And look, genius from Mikel Arteta, but of course he's given away a very, very vital secret there. Mikel Arteta on there being no fans for this game. It will be a full house, a lot of passion and a lot of emotion from Arsenal. We haven't had this opportunity for 15 years. So that tells you how special this night is going to be for us. We are going to put everything into every ball to make it happen. Yeah, there are no fans for Bayern in this game. No fans for Bayern in this game. I mean, is this a factor? Absolutely. Now, I'm not really sure how people rate this Emirates atmosphere. At least I know that Galatasaray and Besiktas, those ones have environments that you cannot survive. I know in Germany, the Signal Iduna Park is crazy. I know the Anfield is crazy when it comes to fans and the atmosphere. I don't know how the Arsenal fan base is in terms of, supporting and singing and pouring down on the opponent. But this will be a time for us to sing. This will be a time for us to go down on the opponent and make it difficult for them, right? Mikel Arteta on Jurgen Klopp's comments about our game against Man United, he says, no, I can only talk about what we do. Well, Jurgen Klopp said that Arsenal will beat Manchester United 100% if Manchester United play like that. And I disagree. I personally disagree. I think Man United and the way they played against Liverpool, I think you will miss chances in games, right? And I think Arsenal really do miss chances. Look at the Brighton game. We missed the Gabriel header and we missed a sitter from Saka. We also missed a sitter from Gabriel Jesus. We missed chances as well. I think the problem with Liverpool has been they have been winning games on thin ice and it has been calming for them. It was calming a point where they failed to win. The point was coming where they failed to win a game, and it eventually came, right? I don't think Arsenal 100% beat Man United when they play like that, but we beat Manchester United 100% if we play the way we are playing, right? Miss chances, but also take some of those good chances. I think we beat them. Mikel Arteta on how much our team has grown with leaders now on the pitch. Okay, he says hopefully we are better than last season. We have learned a lot of the stuff over the last few years. I think players have evolved. We are all we all try to improve to be better than we were a year ago. It's been really demanding a season. It's been a huge step for us both in this competition and of course on top of that being able to compete in the Premier League the way we are doing. This is the challenge, but as well, we are so excited to be a part of it. On whether our previous 5-1 losses to Bayern make a difference now, it says it's there. That's the history. And when you look at history of the competition, that is clear. The nature and capacity to perform on the biggest stages. We have to prove that. That is actually for sure. I think this is a win that will be going for us to Arsene Wenger. This win will be going to Arsene Wenger. He is the guy that deserves Arsenal to beat Bayern because he was humiliated in the house that he built. If we beat Bayern today, that is for Arsene Wenger. And that will be my title for the match reaction for Arsene Wenger, right? That will be for Arsene Wenger. Watch out for that match reaction because I know we will beat Bayern tonight. I know we'll beat Bayern. And that will be my title for the match reaction. Okay, Mikel Arteta on whether we have to be perfect to win. this season. It says being perfect in football is difficult. You have to be better than the opponent first, then you have to have the momentum, to be ruthless. We've been really consistent and trying to be better than our opponents lately, especially, and we have to carry on doing a lot of things that we are already doing. On whether we will see ruthless, we will feel ruthless and strong. It says, well, yes, we are in a good momentum and winning and performing the way we are doing. It helps us always. Okay. On whether he has been surprised by Bayern Munich's form this season, it says, I don't know. Football is such a difficult and competitive environment, and so difficult to be consistent that and this can happen to anybody. On whether we train to block shots, it says yes, we do work on that, but hopefully it's in the player's nature as well. We can't just allow teams to shoot in our goal. We have to prevent every possible scenario that occurs before that, and when it gets to that stage, it's the ultimate opportunity before our goalkeeper makes an intervention. So we try to control everything that happens in that chain. Mikel Arteta on what he learned from managing the UCL knockout stages for the first time. He says, I think that evolution is not in relation to me. I would think my evolution would be in my other areas, not because of the results, but as a club, which is the most important thing. We haven't been in this position for 14 years, and the opportunity to go through to the next stage for 15 years, and for this club, that's a long, long time. We realize that, and that's why we have a hunger and the desire to make it happen. On if he has spoken to Xabi Alonso for tips on how to beat Bayern, he says, great question, but I'm not going to answer that. On what it was like to play against Bayern when Mikel was a player, he says, I don't know. I can understand those debates, those opinions. For us, it's easier to just keep focused on the performance that we have to put in to beat a very top team. On if Bayern's form is relevant to this tie, it says, from my side, no. As well, it's something that we have to say. We have no say or control over, and we expect all the time the best from our opponent against Bayern, Brighton, Aston Villa. Regardless of where their guys are, you always have to expect that they will play their best possible way and be prepared to outperform them. On if the criticism they first makes them more dangerous, Mikel says hopefully not. And how the first leg being at home changes the dynamic. It says, we know that every football game is like this. The rules have changed as well, and that's very important. You have to be able to manage the game and control as many scenarios as we can within 180 minutes. So that's Mikel Arteta there on Bayern, on the game, and basically the threat that Bayern possess. And I agree with him. You can't focus on Bayern are not good for you to beat them. You must focus on we have to be good to beat Bayern. I'll speak to you right in the next one. That should be the preview coming up very shortly.